Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. It's Michelle, your practical priestess here at Divinely Genuine. So we're here to do y'all's tarot reading for Uranus transiting Taurus, which is like a 7.5-year transit. I have already shuffled and blessed the deck, communed with spirit. No, I haven't cut the deck. Sorry, I'm ready to cut the deck. So for this particular reading or transit, we're doing a planetary spread, which is that. It consists of 7 cards, and they each represent a planet which is affecting your life in a certain way. Okay? So I just thought I would change it up. Alright, so let me go ahead and cut the deck. And this is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. If you're not aware, you are more than that, like, sun sign horoscope that we've always known. The way they come up with that is the day you were born, that's where the sun was. Like if you're a sun sign Sagittarius, the sun was in the constellation of, you can't really see this, but it was in the constellation of Sagittarius over here. But the moon was also somewhere, and you also have an ascendant or a rising sign, which is where the sun was rising in the east the day of, as you were being born, the moment you were being born. So, and it sets up this whole chart, which is called a natal birth chart. And that's really the one that people should go by, I feel, unless they have a heavy, like, stellium of planets in a certain area. Like, for me, I have, like, 5 planets in Libra. So I go by Libra, which also is my ascendant. But my whole life, I only knew the sun sign, like everyone else. And so I thought I was just sun sign Virgo. Anywho. So you have a moon sign, you have a rising sign, you have a whole, like, we all actually have all 12 of the zodiacs in our chart somewhere. So it's really neat. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got 5, 6, and 7. But once you find that out, astro.com, you need your birth time, then you can watch the videos for each and see which one may resonate best. I mean, maybe not for this particular transit because it's like a 7 to 8 year transit, so you won't really know. But, like, it's so good to know. It's what makes up most of our psychology and astrology are those 3 components, sun, moon, and ascendant. And on my new moon videos and full moon, you can then watch those corresponding videos and see which one you like best. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So, Sagittarius. This first card is representing Saturn, which is karmic endings. I want to turn on another light. Give me just a sec. I wonder if that did anything. It might not have done much at all, but that's okay. Alright, so Saturn, it's karmic endings, it's karmic return, endings, and time. The issue approached from the perspective of the inevitable and big themes. It's what is ending in your life, okay? And we have the Temperance card. Okay, so this card typically means moderation and balance. If you notice, she's balancing the water. I say she, but I don't believe it has a sex, honestly. It could be a dude. I don't know. The body looks more like a dude, but the face looks like a chick. But it's got wings, so I guess it's not either. Anywho, so it means moderation, I believe. It's a major arcana card, which they typically mean major life change. Again, this is a 7 to 8 year transit, so it's not going to be something that you notice, like, right away. I mean, it could be, you know what I mean? But it's just a long transit. And, you know, we just came out of, like, Uranus being in Aries, so, you know, your life was being affected in some kind of way with that as well. So, like, there's no reason to, like, you don't need to, like, freak out or something. This is, you know, stuff's always going on. We're just waking up to the wisdom of it. So Temperance is the angel on the middle way. Temperance and moderation, avoiding excess, virtue instead of vice. Finding a middle way, mingling many different approaches. Flux, mediation, creating something greater than the sum of its parts. Unity of opposing forces to create something. Okay. Okay, so that is what is ending. Okay. So maybe some balance is ending in some area of life, or maybe, yeah, we'll just say that. Okay, let's see. And then we're going to move on to the second card. Let me go back to that spread. The second card represents Mars, and it's force and aggression, ambition and drive, or in competition. The issue approached from the perspective of the ego and the self. What is in conflict or imbalance in your life, okay? And that's with this transit. So it's going to be the Princess of Swords. Court cards in tarot can typically represent people. They also, swords represent, oh, there she went. Swords represent decisions. It's the fixing of new ideas. Princess of Swords. A genius. Oh yeah, this is like an Aquarian type card. So if you guys have know where Aquarius is in your own chart, it may be referring to that. But it's what is an imbalance in your life. It could be representing an Aquarius that you're close to. So a genius, an inventor, somebody who enjoys analysis, the beginnings of an intellectual pursuit, freedom of thought, rebellious thought, a free thinker, fixing new ideas in reality, freedom from preconception or unquestioned ideas. So that's out of balance. Okay, so rebellious thought, free thinking, maybe you start to go a little overboard with this transit in that way, one or the other. Like what I mean is like too much of that or lacking that. In some way or another that is out of balance, the fixing of new ideas, okay? So what I like to think of, you know, astrology and tarot is divine guidance, right? So we don't just like, I mean, it's so fun, right? Like we do it for fun, but at the same time, you're doing it for guidance and wisdom to work with the energies, not to just be a victim of it, like people who are unaware. So we've got a Seven of Pentacles for the next position, which I believe represents Venus. And let me double check. And that would represent, yes, card 3 is Venus. It's love and beauty, harmony and union. It's the issue approach from the perspective of bringing about peace, harmony, and inspiration, okay? It's your emotional world and relationships, okay? Not to be confused with the moon, which is your inner world. It's your emotions with relationships. So we've got a Seven of Pentacles, okay? Pentacles typically represent our self-value, our value, our worth, our monetary gain that is reflected back from that worth. So Seven of Pentacles is the waiting game. Patience, slow progress, watching things grow. You see he's like tilling the garden. Okay, so it takes time. Diligence and hard work, more haste, less speed. Awaiting an end result, tending to your daily life, waiting. Okay, so that may be how your relationships feel and your emotions towards your relationships. Just kind of during this transit for these next 7 to 8 years, remember that you are making things grow, planting new seeds, giving them some TLC, and it's seeing, you know, watching the flow and the way things grow for you in regards to your relationships. And then we move on to card 4, which is representing Mercury. It's the mind and intellect, word and wit, the issue approach from the perspective of reason, or it is the intellectual world and thoughts. Okay, so for that position, we have reversed 6 of Cups. Reversed, the way I read, is it is inward. Okay, 6 of Cups. Here, let me show it to you right side up. 6 typically represents, well, 6 in astrology represents the house of Virgo, which is our daily task and service to others. Cups typically represent emotions. The 6 of Cups is the pleasure of the sun child. Youthful joy, simple pleasures in life, pure happiness, the inner child, returning to a simpler way of living. How awesome for your mind to be that during this transit. I mean, because whatever the mind is, the emotions follow, and whatever the mind is the reality we create. So freaking awesome. And you guys are the only, absolute only sign ruled by the lucky planet Jupiter, which is so amazing. I feel like especially, well, anyone that has prominent Sag in there, like sun, moon, or rising, but I was thinking about, yesterday I was thinking about doing the video, and I was thinking to myself, like, how cool it is that if you're a Sagittarius ascendant, your whole chart is ruled then by the lucky planet of growth and expansion, being Jupiter. Anywho, so Mercury, mind, intellect, generosity of spirit, kindness and gentleness, emotional harmony. You're only as old as you feel. Innocence and inexperience. Pretty cool. Alright, so then the next card is going to be Jupiter. Card 5. And that's representing growth, expansion, action, and friendship. The issue approach from the perspective of the social world. It's your actions and outward being, your goals. And we've got the 2 of Swords. I believe that's decision time. Okay, let's see. So that's your actions and outward being. It's the way you're going to be asked to grow with this transit. 2 of Swords, the fulcrum of the mind. Pause during decision making, being at the crossroads, fear of a decision, change being imminent, the balance between 2 options, being in 2 minds, choice presented, change is the only constant, weighing up your options, paradox, stillness during changing states. Hold on to that last part, you know, stillness during changing states. Because obviously this transit will bring change. Obviously life will bring change. But to be able to be the alchemist and remain still as a guru, finding your peace, as all of that change happens, and creating your own world up here so that you can feel however you wish during these changes, right? But it is a decision that will be made, so you have control as well. You're going to have to make up your mind in one way or the other as far as your actions and goals, okay? And then we move on to card 6, which is the Moon. It's receptivity and intuition. It is dreams and rhythms. The issue approach from the perspective of intuition. It's your inner world. And we've got, speaking of the alchemist, we've got the alchemist. Yay, it's my favorite card. It's reversed, so again, it's going to just be even more pronounced that it's representing your inner world, as the moon is already doing so in this place. So the alchemist is, I like to think of the alchemist as the, like the secret and the law of attraction. Like what I was saying before with the Two of Swords and change being, you know, the only constant. Like, yes, it's true. Life will change in ways that we aren't ready for, and that we may not think we want it to go that direction as we break away from things that we may want to hold on to. But if you think about it, that you're able to talk yourself out of, you know, negative thinking when change comes, and keep keep optimism at the front of your mind, and, you know, thinking thoughts that are creating a better energy flow from within, of, you know, all good things come to me. I am open to receive new possibilities of love, of friendship, of jobs, a career, my passions, you know, good things for my children, just all the things that you can speak. I feel like that's what the alchemist does. Like, no matter if he's or she is surrounded by issues or chaos or problems, they have the ability to keep the mind under control so that they can handle and are well prepared for life's changes. Okay, so the inner world with the alchemist, let's see what the description is different, but that is my take on him. That is exactly how I feel for the alchemist. But it's the instigation of transformation. Okay, instigating big changes, having all the resources necessary. And here it is, knowing how to manipulate and control a situation, the spiritual and the mundane. The spiritual, you speak it, you think it, you visualize it, so it's reflected back in the mundane world. Channeling the divine, intention, yes. Energy, will, and resources, focus to one goal, primal urge, initial plans, and action. Okay, so that's how you guys are feeling during this transit, 7 to 8 years. It's all the way until like 2025, I believe. There may be a retrograde period that I'm unaware of, but I know I skipped ahead on my little transit calendar. But I may be off by a little bit, but yeah, it's a pretty long transit, so you can refer back to this video at any point in time. The 7th card is representing the sun. It's our center and vitality, truth and purpose. The issue approached as a synthesis of all the other cards, okay? Or it's the main focus of your life at this time. And we've got the Empress. Okay? Major Arcana card representing major change. The Empress is the 3rd card. Major Arcana card representing the House of Gemini, which is communication. Let's see then what we have for the Empress. The Empress is Venus incarnate in sensual earth. It's creativity. This is the main focus for you guys, Sagittarius. It's creativity, actively creating something, working to bring something to fruition. It's raw material given form, love and sensuality, fertility, motherhood, nurture, unconditional love, creating beauty, vitality, work and projects, being like your children. How freaking awesome is that, Sagittarius? That is y'all's main focus. I hope you liked your reading. I appreciate y'all's support. I love you guys. I hope it's a wonderful, kind transit to you. Just remember that no matter what changes come about, that the divine spirit has our best interest at hand. So it's all going to be okay. See you guys. Peace.